Students, this presentation will teach you how to write the argumentative essay. Before you view this entire presentation or listen to this entire presentation, I need for you to have a pen or pencil in hand so you can take notes. Okay, take notes. Make sure that you have printed the argumentative essay assignment and that you're looking at it right now. Contact the teacher if you do not understand the assignment. Make sure that you have read the argumentative essay chapter of your textbook so you'll know what kind of essay you're about to write. And read all available resources on the learning management system and online. And it's okay if it takes you a few days to view this entire presentation. Understand the assignment. This assignment comes in two parts, okay? Comes in two parts. Part one is the research only. Part two is the essay with the research in it. Don't forget to view the model essay. The model essay will help you gauge to see if you're going in the right direction. Okay. Um, every essay you write, you must go through the writing process. What do I mean by that? I mean, you have to brainstorm, do some brainstorming, okay? Talk to your classmate. When you're home by yourself, sit down and jot down all of your ideas on a sheet of paper, okay? Then start drafting, put your ideas in paragraph form. Then start revising your information, revise those paragraphs, re-see everything, tweak sentences, rearrange ideas, okay? Then edit and proofread for grammar mistakes, okay? You have to go through all of the writing process to ensure that you write a very well-balanced, well-developed essay. Organize your time. If you are writing or taking the fall and spring semesters, you have a little over 4 weeks to write this entire paper. That's plenty of time, okay? But if you're taking a summer, you don't have as much time. You have maybe a little over 3 weeks, okay? So you have to really prepare um, for all semesters. So what is the argumentative essay? You guys, an argumentative essay requires you to take a position on an issue and you have to offer reasons and supporting evidence to convince somebody to accept your position. That's what the argumentative essay is all about. You're trying to convince somebody to believe your point of view. The first thing you need to do is to choose a topic. If your teacher assigned topics, choose one of the assigned topics, okay? If you have the choice to choose your own topics, it may be easier for you to choose topics from a textbook or go to Google and type a list of argumentative topics. But for this class, the teacher assigned your topic, so you have to choose one of the assigned topics. Overall, find a topic that you either like, know something about, or want to learn something about. So within the list of assigned topics, find something you either like, you know something about, or you want to learn about. Let's use this topic for practice. Have automobiles helped or harmed society? Have automobiles helped or harmed society? The next thing you want to do is explore your topic. What do I mean by that? Start brainstorming. Determine if you agree or disagree with your topic. Do you agree with your topic? Then you're pro. That means you agree with your topic. Or do you disagree with your topic? That means you're con. You disagree. Remember, you must be strongly for or against. You can't be both. You can't say, oh, I agree with my topic, but then I disagree with it. You can't be both, okay? You have to write an essay that's either for or against, okay? Now, here's another thing you have to realize. You may strongly feel that the automobile has helped society, but you still need to briefly explore sources that are opposite of your viewpoint so that you can write a stronger, more varied argument. The more you know about the opposition, um, it'll either do one or two things. It will make your viewpoint stronger, or it may actually cause you to change your mind. So it's always important to briefly explore something about the opposition's point of view. Um, Don't forget to talk to a classmate about your topic. Okay, remember this is the preliminary brainstorming. Okay, take notes during class or during online discussions. Go to the comment section of reliable news papers, YouTube, or a site called Quora. And you guys, this is important because you're trying to just find opinions about the topic. You're trying to find opinions. Okay, that's what you are trying to do. Um, Also, for initial research, it's fine to go on Google and type your topic in Google. Just type it in there and just see what you will find, what people are saying. Again, go to like the comment sections of reliable online news papers. Okay, do that. Local newspapers or international newspapers. Okay, go to the comment section and see what people are saying about your topic, or go to Quora, Quora, and see what those people are saying. Quora is a site where people are just giving opinions about topics, argumentative topics. Or go to the YouTube section. Go to the comment section in YouTube. Sometimes they give very interesting comments. But remember, you are not copying somebody else's ideas. Okay, you're just looking for opinions so that you can form your own opinions. Okay, how do you form your own opinions? You read, you listen to people, and that's how you form your opinions. Next, start researching. Sources come in a lot of different forms. You have primary sources, and primary source mean the original source. You have your secondary sources, and that's what you guys will probably be using most of the time: books, peer-reviewed articles. Okay, this is great for research. Then you have your tertiary sources, which are glossy magazines, Wikipedia. There's nothing wrong with using Wikipedia for initial research. Initial research, meaning when you're brainstorming, use the works cited area of Wikipedia, which is usually very good. It has some really reliable resources in that on the work, we call it the works cited page of Wikipedia. Okay, you'll read Wikipedia and you'll see a section that says additional sources, which is your works cited page, and it'll give you reliable websites or sources. But initially, for initial research, you can't put Wikipedia in your essay. You can't use it as one of your major sources. But just for preliminary research, you can use it. How can you tell if a source is reliable? Does it have an author? Is the source online? Is it updated? Is there a works cited page? Is the online source stable, meaning that do you see it one day and you don't see it another day? That usually means it's unstable. Is there contact information? Okay, that's usually a good sign if you have contact information. And does the online source end in edu or gov? Those are usually reliable websites or sources. Anything from the government or from some educational source or university or college. Go to Galileo, guys. Go to Galileo. Okay, there's a link in the learning management system. Just go there. Okay, and go to Galileo, and I want you to choose the tab that says Galileo, and I want you to go to this website, Opposing Viewpoints. I think you guys will love Opposing Viewpoints. Okay, it's very efficient. It has so much information on that one page that you'll need. Also, when you go to Galileo, look at sites like ProQuest, Encyclopedia Britannica, ProQuest eBooks, Statista, and Films on Demand. All of these sites will help you with your research. Films on Demand is great because it's very student friendly. It gives you a transcript of your selected video. It has closed captions so you can read along. You can copy and paste the quotes you need instead of spending too much time writing every word. And you can stop and start the video where you want to record your quotes. So it's very student friendly. I would highly recommend Films on Demand for your video. But you can use YouTube as well, no big deal. But YouTube is not as student friendly as films on demand. Also, in terms of, you can also use good Google Books or reliable websites on Google. Okay. As I told you before, how do you know it's reliable? Usually anything that ends in a gov uh, or edu, those are usually reliable sources or sites. Okay. Anything like, for instance, this topic, the generic topic we're using, has the automobile helped or harmed society. Sites like AAA, Geico, the U.S. Department of Transportation, those are really good sites. So for your topic, find sites or any sources from government, education, uh, information that is reliable. Then you want to start drafting, guys. After you research and you jotted down everything, well, not jotted down everything, but you've researched, you brainstormed, you've written down preliminary information. Then you're going to start putting your information in paragraph form. And then you're going to start writing the thesis, okay? For example, look at this thesis, the automobile. Let's say you're pro automobile. You're going to say the automobile has helped society. Automobiles have helped society by saving lives, okay, by creating more jobs, and you need a third point here. Compare that to the automobile have helped society because of the increase in good things. You guys, for the argumentative essay, it's so important. I can't emphasize this enough. It's so important that you write a very strong opinion. These can't, very strong opinions. This is not an example essay. It's not an example essay. It's an argumentative essay. That means you have to have strong points. So for the example above, the thesis points are geared more towards solving problems like saving lives and creating jobs. That's what your points need to focus on. Okay? It needs to be like life and death type of things, really serious situations, because this is what the argumentative essay is all about. Now, here are examples of bad thesis statements. The social media topic. Social media has largely harmed society by negatively impacting mental health, weakening genuine human connections, and creating low self-esteem. This thesis is too broad. You have to narrow it down. AI causes ethical decision making, show that it may ultimately do more harm than good if left uncontrolled. You need two or three really specific points you can expand on. Okay. And this topic about privacy is good and bad for America due to suspicious behavior and not enough privacy. You can't be for and against the topic. Okay. You have to choose a side. Now that you've created a thesis, think about this. Your thesis is located at the end of your introductory paragraph. In your introductory paragraph for this particular essay, you have to mention the opposition point of view. What is that? That basically just acknowledges that you know that there's somebody opposite of your viewpoint. So it's just like, if you are pro automobile, the opposition is going to be con. It's going to say the automobile is not that great. It has not been good for society. Okay? That's what you have to consider and think about. Okay? You have to have that. Acknowledge it somewhere in your introduction. Now, some students go back and forth and they like to go back and banter back and forth and say the opposition says this, but I say this, and the opposition says this, but I say this. I personally would not do that because it's not wrong, but I wouldn't do it because students generally tend to write the opposition instead of their viewpoints. And then you end up having an off-topic paper. So you have to watch that. I will focus this entire essay, all from my viewpoint. This is how I feel. And yes, I will acknowledge that there's opposition, but I'm going to put it in my introduction. This argument is based on your opinions. 90% of this paper is your opinions. That means it comes from your viewpoints. Okay? The sources are meant to back up your opinions. So 90% is your opinion. Okay? And the other 10%, those are your experts, your sources backing up what you are saying. Okay, that's how you write this paper. It's not the other way around. It's not 90% summarizing all of your sources and then 10% of you. No, it's the other way around. You guys, there are type of examples, that are out there when you argue. When you argue, you may find examples that really appeal to the reader's emotions. You may find examples that really appeal to the reader's ethical stance, and you may find examples that really appeal to logic. And you can use all of these examples, to convince people that you are right, your side is correct. So let's just practice. Like we said, our practice thesis is automobiles have helped society by saving lives, by creating more jobs, and we need another point. We'll leave that blank for now. But we're going to look at Wilhelmino. He was a police officer during 9/11. The buildings came down on him. And this is a common knowledge. I've collected common knowledge about this person online. How do I know it's common knowledge? If you go online and you go to Google and you type in a topic, if you get hundreds of millions of hits, that's common knowledge. Okay. Ways you can build your examples. Of course, like I said, use common knowledges in your paper. Common knowledge. Use real life examples. Use little short, brief scenarios. You can extend the position. Source A is correct, but blank is true too. You can disagree with opposition. You can say source B says this, but the truth is this. Contradictions. Source A claims this originated during this, but that's not true. There's so many ways you can build your argument. This is an example of what it needs to look like. Okay, just like this. 90% of this paper, your examples, 10% experts. So we start off, this is a body paragraph. Automobiles have helped society because they help save lives. So this entire paragraph has to focus on saving lives. Okay, this entire paragraph. So, for example, everything in red is a real life common knowledge example. On 9/11, Wilhelmino, he was an officer. The tower came down on him. Everything in purple basically explains the significance of the event as it relates to the main argument. It explains the significance of this event as it relates to the main argument. And then everything underlined is your evidence to support everything you're saying. So this is all you, and this is just evidence supporting you. Okay? When you finish writing your paper, okay, if you really want to earn a good grade, revise. What do I mean by revising? Put the paper down for a day or two. Pick it back up. Read it again. Pay attention to mistakes. Don't ignore them. If you read a sentence and you're stumbling over it and it makes no sense, take it out, rewrite it again. You guys, don't be lazy on this part. This is what separates the students who make A's from the students who don't. Putting effort into this. Okay? Revise, edit, proofread, and just going through the research steps again. Okay? Brainstorm. Write your thesis down, just preliminary thesis. Explore your topic. Go beyond. Start drafting. Write a full paragraph. And this is what I recommend. You guys, before you write your entire essay, there's nothing wrong with asking, writing a paragraph and it's just asking the teacher, hey, am I going in the right direction? Before I write this entire essay, I just want to know, am I going in the right direction? Okay. And then revise, edit, proofread your essay.